More gear doesn't mean more freedom. You don't need more stuff on the road. And on a small ADV, every kilo counts. Strip it back. Find the road. So my question to you is how much do you actually need to carry a life on the road? I used to think that more gear meant more freedom. That if I packed for every possible scenario, I'd be ready for anything. But it turns out that all it really makes you ready for is packing more stuff. Some people pack like they're fleeing a medieval siege or possibly a visit from their mother-in-law. You know, tents, tarps, 3 kinds of boots. These days I'm lucky to barely fill my panniers. I worked on cruise ships for years. I was a musician and I was packing for months at a time. And packing for those gigs was a military operation. You know, huge suitcases, formal outfits, uniforms, duplicates of everything. Sometimes looking into those suitcases was like looking into my Auntie Shirley's storage shed. I lost a sock in there once and never saw it again. I'm sure it's still out there somewhere drifting like the Flying Dutchman. One passenger once bought their own cappuccino machine for a 7-day cruise. I mean, I appreciate the commitment. I'm a coffee addict myself, but you got to draw a line somewhere. But now I ride a bike that makes me look twice at a full-size toothbrush. And that's not a metaphor, I've actually done it. And it's not just me saying this. The Stoics were pushing this same idea thousands of years ago. Epictetus put it best. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. And on a small ADV, packed light, sun on your back, horizon ahead, there really aren't many wants. Epictetus probably never pushed a bike backwards on gravel, but he wasn't wrong. And small adventure bikes, like my Himalayan, they don't let you cheat. They show you exactly what every kilo costs. Billy reminds me of that every time I load her up. With 24 horsepower, every kilo you add, you feel it. On the hills, on the brakes, on your legs when you push it backwards in a gravel car park. A bigger bike will let you get away with carrying too much. A small ADV makes you ask before every trip if that extra pair of shoes is worth the slower climb to the top. A motorcycle enforces simplicity with steel and gravity. Pack only what you want badly enough to muscle through the next mountain pass and leave the rest. Dalma and I ride overseas. Over our first 3 fly-in rides, our bags dropped kilos every time. In Bali, 2 roll tops at 20 kilos each. By Thailand, the 2 bags combined weighed less than that. The Himalayan isn't a high-speed hauler. Every extra kilo changes the ride. So the less I pack, the easier it is to move, to turn, to stop. The lighter the load, the louder the wind and the clearer the head. On the road, minimalism stops being about owning fewer things and becomes the art of wanting less and finding in that smallness a wider world. So it turns out you don't actually need half your house in a suitcase. You just need enough to get over the next hill. Overpacking always starts the same way. Just in case you're wet, just in case you're cold, just in case you suddenly decide to take up embroidery on the road. It always feels sensible, and then suddenly you're packing half your apartment to the back of the bike. I once carried 3 can openers. I have no idea why. One in case the other 2 ran away. The Himalayan taught me faster than any packing list. Trip by trip, the non-essentials disappeared. Not because I became more disciplined, but because the bike made the cost of carrying them obvious. And the less you carry, the more you notice. You're not focused on wrestling your gear into submission. You're watching the light on the corrugated roof, the way the birds complain on a dirt road, the smell of wet gum leaves after rain. Strip away the clutter and the small things stop being background, they become the point. Getting to my essentials list didn't happen overnight. I used to throw half the shed into my backpack, convinced I might actually need it. And then I started carrying one of these. This is a paint pen. While I was on the road, every time I used something, I'd put a mark on it. By the end of the trip, anything without a mark was just dead weight. Next trip, I did the same thing, different colour. Trip after trip, the unused gear kept revealing itself until only the essentials were left. The trick isn't packing light, it's packing smart. Every item on this list earned its place the hard way. Trip after trip, paint pen after paint pen. I have 5 or 6 categories. Riding gear that works. Suit, boots, helmet, neck scarf. Nothing fancy, just the armour that keeps me upright. Clothes that earn their keep. 2 merino tees, 2 pairs of socks, 1 pair of shorts, a towel. Wash one, wear one, repeat. Layers and comfort, including mid layers for the cold, sandals for the campsite. Tools and fixes. Multi-tool, rain gear that actually works, repair kit, first aid, duct tape. Always duct tape. Tech and comms. Phone, nav, power brick, recording gear for the weirdos who watch these videos. Finally, and optionally, the camping gear if I'm camping. Tent, sleeping bag and insert, jet boil and a sleeping mat, or a cot if I have space. Maybe a hip flask, and yes, the nanopresso, because coffee is non-negotiable. This isn't a gear review, it's a thought process. And on a Himalayan, that process happens quickly because there's no hiding the weight. The most important thing in my toolkit is denial, but duct tape is a close second. Packing light has this sneaky side effect. It follows you home. You suddenly find yourself asking the same questions at home that you did on the bike. Looking in the cupboard saying, do I really need 3 jackets? Do I really need another gadget for the shelf? There's a line in Fight Club. The things you own end up owning you. Turns out they were onto something. If a thing's not worth hauling over the next hill, why is it worth hauling through your life? Minimalism on the road trains you to value what you use and let go of what you don't. It's not about owning nothing. It's about noticing which things actually earn their place. And that's the kicker. Every kilo you strip from the bike is a kilo off your shoulders as well. And suddenly space starts opening up in your panniers and in your mind. At home, you stop buying things you'll never use. You choose experiences over possessions, time over things. You stop chasing the idea of more and start valuing the space for less. Strip the kit. Strip the noise. Strip the excuses, and the road pays you back in headspace. You can't take it with you, and on a bike, you wouldn't want to. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up or a comment. It actually helps more than you think. And in the comments below, tell us what you ditch and what you keep. I'm fairly sure someone out there still carries a cappuccino machine on the back of their bike.